Imagine finding a nearly frozen child in your yard on Christmas Eve, a child who claims to have been searching for you. For Mary, this shocking discovery set off an emotional journey of love, loss, and redemption. What unfolded next was a Christmas miracle unlike any other. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to Stories Unfolded. We bring you heartwarming, mysterious, and inspiring tales that will leave you speechless. Let's dive in. Mary had always loved Christmas, even though it had lost much of its magic over the years. Since her husband's passing, she spent her holidays quietly, cherishing memories of better days with him and their daughter, Sarah. Living alone in a cozy cottage at the edge of a snowy forest, Mary's only companion was Max, her loyal golden retriever. On Christmas Eve, she had settled into her favorite armchair by the fire, sipping hot cocoa and reading her favorite holiday book, A Christmas Carol. Outside, the snow fell steadily, blanketing the yard in a pristine white glow. The world felt still, peaceful, a stark contrast to the life Mary once knew when her home was filled with laughter and the smell of baked treats. But that peace was shattered by the sound of Max barking. Max's bark wasn't his usual playful yip. It was sharp, frantic, and full of urgency. Mary set her mug down and looked out the window. At first, she saw nothing but snow, illuminated by the soft glow of the porch light. Then, she spotted something. A figure, small and fragile, stumbling toward her fence. The figure collapsed just a few feet from the gate. Mary's heart raced. Who could possibly be out in this weather? Grabbing her coat and flashlight, she stepped into the freezing night, Max bounding ahead of her. The snow crunched under her boots as she approached the figure. Her breath caught in her throat as the beam of her flashlight revealed a boy, no older than 8, curled up in the snow, trembling violently. His clothes were thin, his gloves mismatched, and his face was pale. His lips were blue, and his eyes fluttered weakly. Mary knelt beside him, shaking his shoulder gently. "Sweetheart, can you hear me?" The boy's eyes opened slightly, and he looked up at her with an expression of pure relief. "I finally found you," he whispered before his eyes closed again. Mary's heart ached as she scooped him into her arms. "Let's get you inside, honey," she said, her voice trembling. Max followed closely as Mary carried the boy into the warm cottage. Inside, Mary moved swiftly. She laid the boy on the couch, wrapped him in blankets, and placed a heating pad near his feet. She brewed a cup of hot cocoa, urging him to sip it slowly. As the warmth of the fire began to revive him, the boy's cheeks flushed with color. His eyes fluttered open, and he looked around, confused, but comforted by the cozy surroundings. "What's your name, sweetheart?" Mary asked softly, brushing his damp hair from his forehead. "Charlie," the boy murmured. Mary smiled gently. "Well, Charlie, you're safe now. But what were you doing out in the cold like that? Where are your parents?" Charlie's face fell, and he looked down at the mug in his hands. "I don't have any," he said quietly. Mary's chest tightened. "You're all alone?" Charlie nodded. "I ran away from the orphanage," he admitted. Mary frowned. "Why, Charlie? You could have been hurt, or worse." Charlie looked up at her, his wide, innocent eyes filled with emotion. "Because I've been looking for you." "Looking for me?" Mary repeated, stunned. "Why would you be looking for me?" Charlie hesitated, his small hands clutching the mug tightly. "Because you're my grandma," he said softly. Mary froze. Her mind raced, trying to process his words. She had no grandchildren, or so she thought. Her daughter, Sarah, had passed away 6 years ago, leaving Mary with a heart full of questions and regrets. Could it be possible that Sarah had a child she never told her about? "How do you know that, Charlie?" Mary asked gently. "I found letters," Charlie said, "at the orphanage. They said you were my family." Mary stared at the boy, her heart pounding. If Charlie was telling the truth, her late daughter had kept a devastating secret from her. The next morning, Mary contacted the orphanage. The headmistress, Mrs. Palmer, confirmed Charlie's story. "He's been with us since he was a baby," Mrs. Palmer explained over the phone. "We had no idea he had any living relatives, but if he found letters, perhaps his mother left them for him." Mary's hands shook as she asked, "Can I see those letters?" That afternoon, Mrs. Palmer arrived at Mary's cottage with a small box. Inside were several envelopes addressed to "My Sweet Charlie," written in Sarah's handwriting. Mary opened the first letter with trembling hands. "Dear Charlie," it began, "I'm sorry I can't be with you, but I hope you'll understand one day. If you ever feel alone, find my mom. She'll love you as much as I do." Tears streamed down Mary's face as she read the words. It was Sarah's handwriting, unmistakable and raw, with emotion. The letters revealed that Sarah had struggled with addiction in her final years. Fearing she couldn't provide a stable life for her baby, she had given Charlie up, but left behind a trail to guide him back to her mother. Mary didn't need any more convincing. She contacted a lawyer and began the process of gaining custody of Charlie. She vowed to give him the love and stability Sarah had wanted for him. Charlie adjusted quickly to his new life with Mary. Together, they decorated the house for Christmas, baked cookies, and built snowmen in the yard. For the first time in years, Mary's home was filled with laughter and warmth. On Christmas morning, Mary gave Charlie a small gift, a photo of Sarah holding him as a baby, framed with the words, "Forever loved." "She would have been so proud of you," Mary whispered, hugging him tightly. This story is a powerful reminder that family can find its way back to us, even in the most unexpected ways. For Mary and Charlie, Christmas wasn't just a holiday. It was a new beginning, filled with love, hope, and healing. If this heartwarming story touched your heart, please like and share it to remind others of the power of family and the magic of Christmas. Don't forget to subscribe to Stories Unfolded for more incredible tales of love, resilience, and hope. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next story.